Alright, today we're going to be playing an oldie but a goodie. You may notice that this is the DualShock version, so it will have the absolutely terrible basement music, but the only way I could really get this game to work was PSN. So this is the PSN version. I will also be playing on Jill because, well, I like the grenade launcher. I mean, who doesn't love a grenade launcher? And also it's just fun to have Jill because she gets to interact with Barry, who is a gem. We'll just go with that. And this game is absolutely legendary for its voice acting, but Barry in particular is the greatest thing to ever happen to Resident Evil 1, or Resident Evil in general.
Where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
So I'm just going to kind of let this beginning scene play out, and we can just enjoy all of the terribleness.
Have recently occurred in Raccoon City.
Also misspelling on the paper there.
Reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
It was Bravo team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Hey! Come here! Joseph! No! Don't go! Jill, run for that house!
So, epic little intro, especially for the production value of the times. Again, full motion video was kind of a thing back then. So, it is pretty funny to see it in its earliest days before voice acting was really like heavy emphasis on being good. I mean, this game is old, so this was around the time where voice acting was just starting to be a thing. So it's even better that they gave it their best shot, and I can only assume they had fun with it, hiring the only people in Japan who probably spoke English within a 5-mile radius.
Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill.
Yes, Chris is known to be a
I'm going
gun.
with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this. Stay alert.
It's just so beautiful. Nothing will ever quite top this game for me. In my eyes, this is like just the classic.
A dining room.
It's basically a B movie, but worse. So I guess it would fall into like C tier category. But
What?
God,
What
it's
is
just
this?
amazing.
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
I have absolutely no idea what that will do for you in the end, but sure, we'll go in here. It does make me wonder what he's doing with the blood. Oh yeah, and this was always kind of funny to me, but we do know about the first enemy, but you can just kind of stare at it perpetually as long as you want, but Jill doesn't really do anything until you round the corner, actually. But if you back into the cutscene, then you can just book ass. You don't have to worry about turning around, because there's no real quick turn in this. Your quick turn is
Barry?
literally 180ing as fast as you can.
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this.
Well, that was quick.
What is it?
Though Barry's Magnum is kind of
Kenneth was
terrible
killed too. Maybe by this creature.
compared to what we get later.
Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
So I'm going to be going for the best ending. I also will do the V-Jolt Solution just for shits and giggles. Just because I usually do it that way, but
Help me look for him, Jill. And don't
it
leave
will
this
cut
off
out a
for the time
cutscene with
being.
Barry involving him coming in and saving us. But I figure the V-Jolt Solution will be better just because it's more completion
Find anything,
than
Jill?
one cutscene with Barry.
Nothing.
Even though we will get
What
quite a
is
few
this all
cutscenes with
about?
Barry.
I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay.
I want to
I'll
go
try
lick
door
the blood on the
opposite
floor
side.
some more.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
A classic line.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time, I'll be there.
I don't know what he ever means by this time I'll be there, considering he was there the last time. But who knows? That could just be bad writing. It could be whatever at this point. This game is just chock full of shit like that. And there is the map and the vase up there. We can use the stepladder to get it, but I don't really need the map, so we're not getting the map. And every 10-year-old pooped themselves here. And now we will never return to that room. Classic. We'll just take this herb because we don't really come back here either. So it's just extra to have. Don't need to go into the bathroom there either. So I'm not worried about it. And Jill has the distinct advantage of having Barry as the companion, so we can go ahead and steal the shotgun early instead of having to get the broken one. So, yoink. Mine now. And also it gives us more berry. And I love berry. And it's locked. And it's locked. So now I guess we just do our best Michael Jackson impersonation.
Hey, what's going on?
Jill's a little slow on the uptake, you'll have to forgive her.
Jill? Is that you, Jill? What happened?
Barry, help me, please. The door won't open. Quick!
Stay away from the door, Jill. I'm gonna kick this door down. Hurry! This way!
This game really does make you question if the people that are doing the voice lines actually spoke English before they were given these lines.
Oh, Barry!
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving
The
my
line
life.
quoted around the world.
But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research? Why on earth are you here?
Yeah, Barry. Start explaining, Barry.
I just had something I wanted to check. Now, let's get back to searching for the lost captain and Chris, shall we?
You're looking pretty suspicious,
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
Go on through these double doors, and then we'll have some zombies in front of us. And in the older games, you could always tell that zombies were dead whenever the blood puddles would do their thing. Or you could always use auto-aim and then just track them. Man, he faked twice. What a genius. We don't have to go into this room right away, but I just want to get the youth puzzle out of the way. So, if we look at this one, it says, the picture is entitled From Cradle to Grave. So essentially we just have to find the pictures in their order. I don't really remember these things off the top of my head, but there's the newborn baby, which we do want. Because it's a newborn, it's first thing in the cradle. Young man, we don't need yet. Should have a toddler or infant. Infant. So we do that one. Lively boy. I think this was a tired middle-aged man. Yeah. So we want the young man, which is right here. Then the middle-aged. Then we go back around all the way to the old man that stopped giving a shit a long time ago. Then we can push this one. Because the old guy's dead. And that's our first crest. And I hope everyone enjoyed the pistol because we're pretty much not going to use it anymore. And I'm not joking. We will never touch the pistol again. It's pretty easy to run on this game. Less so if you're doing speedrunner things, but I'm not a speedrunner, so... But we still will never need to touch the pistol again. And this guy won't need his face anymore. And we can go ahead and grab this. We don't really need to. We actually come to this room a few times later on, but For shits and giggles, I'll have it in the box. And we can go ahead and put our knife in, put our pistol in, put these, this, the crest, and yeah, we can keep the shotgun. We need this plant killer. Well, it just says chemical, but it's a plant killer. And then we'll go ahead and head up the stairs. And we will have one zombie upstairs that we'll want to get rid of. The other one's not important. It's a non-issue. So the one back there we don't need to worry about. The one we need to worry about is this guy. And he's gone, so we don't need to worry about him anymore. We also don't need to worry about how to combine herbs because, well, I'm not really worried about it. I know how to combine herbs at this point, so we're not going into the other room. And I'll just get rid of these guys to make our walk through here easier. But we'll go out onto the landing here and see Barry again.
Barry!
Jill, what's going on? Any clues?
No, but something's wrong with this house.
Whoa. This hall is dangerous.
I just can't.
Maybe it's better to secure our escape route first. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we?
Why do they say the lines like this?
Let's separate again.
Just a moment. I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things.
Oh, thank God.
Better take it with
It
you.
works on living things.
How about you, Barry?
That's exactly what I need.
I have this.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
Like, homeboy really gonna hand us some acid grenades and say, it's really powerful, especially against living things. Like, gee, thanks, Barry. You're a real fucking help, my dude. Like, thank goodness it works on living things. Even though it absolutely one-shots all of the zombies. But we're gonna go out onto the balcony and see the forest, and also the forest. And steal his grenade launcher. Because, well, he doesn't need it. So I'm gonna position myself looking towards the door, grab this, and then run. If you examine his body, then you start getting attacked by crows, so I just like to look away from him, so that way I'm not going to accidentally inspect his body and then start getting pecked. It's just helpful for me to do it that way. By all means, if you want to get attacked by crows, then look at him, but wouldn't recommend it. And there will be a zombie here, but we can just push this until the camera angle changes. Then of course he's going to be an asshole and block the statue for a second. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go. Then we just need to push the statue off. We'll come back to that later. This next room, the zombies are actually weird in the fact that they don't try and grab or anything. They just vomit. So, you disgusting people, you just get out of the way. But we're going to go ahead and head down. We can't really do anything else in the room. The door at the end of the hall needs a passcode, which we get later. And the other one takes a key, which we get later. So we really can't do much. I am going to get rid of this guy. And Staircase Steve here. So we are out of shotgun, but that's not really a huge concern. I didn't really need to come in here, so I don't really know why I did. Probably won't really be saving in this game. Guess I just felt like hearing the crystalline tunes of the save room for a second or something, I don't know. And that guy, I always forget where a lot of the zombies are in this, but they're pretty easy to dodge whenever you see them. This guy we don't even need to worry about. Just run right past him. Then go ahead in the door. And this is where our chemical is going to come in handy. So we just go around the corner, use our chemical, put it in the irrigation system, and the plant dies. Huzzah. That's supposed to be some sort of long roundabout puzzle where you figure it out, have to go get the chemical and all that, but if you know ahead of time, then it's easier. All honesty, since I did walk into that safe room, I probably should have just put my acid grenades in there, but whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these heals just for having them. Since we have 2 red herbs, I'm just gonna grab 2 full heals. I don't know if we'll even really need them, but at the same time, the monsters that come later are gonna be a pain in the ass. So, anybody that doesn't know, I don't really know who wouldn't at this point, but if you mix a red and a green herb, it's a full heal. In case you don't know. I mean, there might be new people that watch it, but who the hell would watch this game if they don't know about it? No clue, but that's how it works. Here, I'm just going to open this door, keep missing the interaction angle. But I just kind of like coming in here for Itchy Tasty here. There's nothing really of note necessary for it, but we can read the journal. And this guy busts out of the closet. And then he's dead. But I will take these just to refill our shotgun. So, we get more shells. But then we can read the journal. The Keeper's Diary. May 9th, 1998. At night, we played poker with Scott the Guard, alias, I think that's supposed to be Elias, and Steve the Researcher. Steve was really lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. Yeah, fuck Steve. May 10th, 1998. Today, a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. May 11th, 1998. Around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up suddenly. He was wearing a protection suit that looks like a spacesuit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an accident in the basement lab. It's no wonder those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. May 13th, 1998. I went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back and the doctor told me I did not need to wear the spacesuit anymore. I guess I can sleep well tonight. May 14th, 1998. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They have been quiet since morning, which is very unusual. I found that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. May 15th, 1998. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go to see Nancy. It's my first day off in a long time, but I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company had ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of joke is this? May 16th, 1998. I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling on my arm, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? May 19th, 1998. Fever gone but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy, Scott came. Ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. 4. Itchy, tasty. It's kind of an interesting little highlight from the first game that happens there. I mean, in what other Resident Evil game do you slowly get somebody turning into a zombie and writing a journal as they go? It's just very bizarre and very interesting all the same. So now we're going to go back into the dining room here. I need the crescent, or the emblem, from the fireplace. So I'm going to grab that. And go ahead and make our way to the piano room. Since Jill is a proficient piano player, we won't need to wait or run around the mansion, what have you, like Chris needs to do with Rebecca while he waits. I believe all you have to do is go back to the main foyer, and then foyer, however you want to pronounce it, and then Rebecca will have practiced enough to play the piano proficiently. Meanwhile, Jill is just a good piano player to begin with, so she can just play the piano on her own with just the music notes. So we use the music notes on the piano, and it's Moonlight Sonata. About the only classical song that I know, and it's just because of this game. I mean, there's Beethoven's numbered works, but yeah, Moonlight Sonata is about the only other one that I know. I'm not much of a classical guy. I prefer rock or metal, so. But we get the gold emblem here, so we can go ahead and take that. And then we'll exchange it for our emblem that we nabbed from above the fireplace. And as an odd curiosity, I believe this is actually the garden that we were in, because you can see the herbs on the shelf and stuff. So that was where we used the plant killer to, well, kill the plant. So it's kind of cool. There's like a little interconnected hidden room there, essentially. But now, since we have our emblem, we can go ahead and put it and switch places with both of them. So we took that one and replaced it in the hidden little cove there. So now we'll just go ahead and put this one, and the clock will move. So with the clock moved, we can go ahead and grab the key. So now we have that. I'll get the gem on the return trip, just because it'll be easier. You can just nab it on the way back. So now that we have our key, we can go ahead and go up. Say hello to Richard, who is spouting one-liners like basically Barry level. So it'll be fun. We'll say hi. And he will say ouch. Alright, go ahead and use our mansion key, head on in, around the corner, have a fun time.
Richard, what happened?
Oh,
He was bit by a big-ass lizard.
It's dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a huge snake, and also poisonous. Ugh.
Lizard demon?
Poisonous?
Oh shit.
Oh no. Richard, hold
Only it was a
on.
puppy demon.
There is serum.
Oh wait, that exists too. Shit.
Oh no. I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
I don't think it's every day that people just think, I wish I had brought serum with me. because this big-ass snake just took a chunk out of my torso. Like, Richard, my dude, I think you might have just been unlucky. And for the serum, it's easy enough to grab. I'm just going to go the lower... Oh, I say that, then I start going the wrong way. But I'm just going to go the lower way, back through the dining hall. Because we can go ahead and make a stop to get our second crest. So we're just going to slowly walk down the stairs. You can go basically either way. This way I just pick up the blue gem, get the crest, go back to the safe room, unload some shit, and then head back to Richard. So we go ahead and pick up our blue gem. All honesty, right now I should have an extra space. Whenever I went to the safe room, it was muscle memory because I usually drop off the acid rounds. So, that was just an oopsie, but it's whatever. We don't really need to worry about it too much. Because when we get rid of the blue gem, we free up a space to get the other thing. And always remember to aim up with a shotgun. Just nice crit headshots all over the place. So now we stop in here. Richard's totally not dying, so just ignore the fact that he is currently. We have enough time to stop by here. And ultimately his fate doesn't matter. The only thing that really changes is he hands you the radio. But the radio is practically worthless anyways, because one, we don't need to answer it unless we want optional scenes, and two, we get it anyways. So we can be fast to save Richard, well, quote-unquote save. We don't save him, but we can be fast enough to acquire the item that he has. Oh. I kind of forgot I left that guy alive, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, we just kind of go fast enough to grab the serum, get back to Richard, get the radio, all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and offload the acid rounds, because we won't be using those for a while. I'm going to keep the shotgun, but I'll put the bazooka in there, and then I don't really need the mixed herb. And the crest as well. We basically only need keys. And the shotgun. Because I don't really plan on doing the Yawn fight, where we will actually defeat Yawn. If you do Yawn correctly, then you can actually do the entire fight and not get the cutscene where Jill gets poisoned. So I'm hoping that I'll do it right, but my consistency with that is dog shit. So we're gonna see. But I'm just gonna go ahead and take the same path that I took, going the bottom route. The top route is also pretty well and clear, except for one zombie on the landing in the dining room. So we don't really have much to worry about. We just need to get back upstairs and give Richard the serum. So if we get back upstairs, we can give Richard the serum. He'll have his whole spiel and then kind of just drop dead, essentially. But then we will go into where Yawn is at.
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on.
So we did make it in time because he's still breathing.
Jill, here's my radio.
And he will give us the radio.
I'm...
No! Richard!
And he's dead.
Jill, be careful.
Yeah, he has one of those dramatically long, like Bollywood kind of deaths. So, Richard's gone. We get the radio. We can just go ahead across to Yawn. We don't need to worry about the hallway down here with the zombie there. Just run right past him. And head on in. We don't need this key anymore, so it'll tell us it's useless. We can discard it. Go ahead and do that, and then walk in the room. Now, whenever Yawn comes out, we're just going to give this our best shot, essentially, because, well, it's a bit difficult to do this trick if you don't practice it a whole lot. AKA the situation I'm in. So, Yawn will start attacking. We kind of want him to come on over to pull his ass end out of here, and then we go over and get the crest. And then whenever he starts coming back this way, we want to kind of cram ourselves into this corner until he comes along. So he'll start kind of jamming himself in here trying to bite us, and whenever he does, we're just going to try and slip past him without getting bit. So when we see him start going, we go. So we got on past him. It was pretty good. If you get bit there, then you'll have a slight cutscene where Jill will be poisoned and this zombie will miraculously disappear because he's considerate like that. So if we do end up doing that trick, we don't get teleported to the safe room that we were in, where we got the serum from Richard, so we can just carry on doing our regular stuff, getting crests and all of that. I was missing a little health, so I went ahead and just used that herb. But yeah, now we can just kind of keep going. We just kind of slipped past, so we're going to go ahead and do the armor puzzle in here, or the statue puzzle. The armor room statue puzzle. Whatever you want to call it. Basically, there's 2 vents in this room. We just want to push the knights, these things, over the vents. It's nothing too insane. Like, I don't really know if we'd call it a puzzle in this day and age, but... And just to make absolutely sure. And then we just go ahead and push the button in the middle. And if we do it right, we don't die. And this will open. So then we go over, grab what's in there, which is another crest. Easy enough. So now we've got the tiger crest, the armor crest, the yawn crest, and the age puzzle crests. Whatever the hell you want to call them. The picture room puzzle crest, the crow room. So we've gotten the 4 that we need. Now all we need to do is just head on back down here. Ignore Ted up there, he's an asshole. Actually, I guess that would make him Steve, wouldn't it? Steve is an asshole. So we head on down, go into our room here. We can keep the shotgun for the time being, I guess. Though I do want to empty out our grenade launcher so we can get fire rounds into it eventually here, so I will probably just go ahead and use that. Go ahead and take our crests, because we'll need those, and we do have healing. Actually, at this point, I also don't need this key anymore, so I can go ahead and put that in here. So, we're going to go ahead and head out to the garden section, which will lead us to the garden house. Shocker, I know. But that's where we're going. We'll have a single dog between us and the shed, so that's really all we're worrying about. But dogs in this game work, honestly, pretty weirdly. Not really weird, but they have pretty interesting AI in how they work. If you walk, they won't be as aggressive until you get very close. But if you run, then they have a higher aggression where they will start running towards you quicker. And since we placed all of our crests, we're clear to enter the house. Now, if I could stop pushing X on the damn thing. So, anyways, if you run near dogs, they'll have a higher aggression towards you. If you don't run, then you can actually walk a decent amount. And here we can just clip through these steps. It's kind of weird, but just wanted to show that. You can just clip right through. It's weird as hell. I don't know why it works, but it does work with multiple things. We can go ahead and push the step ladder to the wall. I think I'm a little off, so we'll just go ahead and push all the way. You only really need to push it once to the side. And then go ahead and climb up and grab our crank. But yeah, your hitbox has or your collision box has a really weird kind of quirk to it, where if you happen to hit an angle just right between two objects that should pinch you off, you can actually warp through them. It's really bizarre. Not entirely sure why. But here we're going to have dogs, and I can show off the walking. So as you can see, they're not really doing anything while we're walking, but as soon as we start running near them, then they'll start attacking. I don't really know the exact specifics, but that's just what I've noticed. So yeah, if you walk towards dogs, they actually aren't very aggressive. As you can see, I was basically touching that one in the face, and it didn't really care. So we get a short water draining scene that just shows us, hey, you can walk across here now. Isn't that fun? But now we're gonna walk across there now, because isn't that fun? So we head on this way, go down to the pool, or the reservoir, whatever the hell you want to call it. The weird river reservoir in the mansion. Here you just want to keep running in a beeline. If you don't, you'll get bit, and these snakes are poisonous, so they can poison you. I've never actually been bit by one of those, so I can only assume that during this video I probably will be. But if you run straight lined to the lift, then you don't really have much to worry about. We will have another dog section here, but you can just use the classic walk. If you don't want to, then they're not super accurate. But yeah, dogs, not really too much of a problem in this. Even if they are, they're relatively weak, so you don't have a whole lot to worry about. Just gonna grab this because I took a little bit of damage. But we're just gonna run here. I'm not too concerned with the dogs. And we can pretty much easily outrun them. They have to take really wonky angles and shit, so they can't really just book it after you well. And here we actually don't really need to worry about pushing this entirely, but I just do, because it's technically the correct thing to do, but you can just get yourself out of the grasp of the plant that comes out of the floor, so. And I'm probably not going to go into the spider billiards room just because of the risk of being poisoned, so we're just going to do the lights out puzzle the solving it way. But it's not really that super hard or anything. For anybody that hasn't played Lights Out, it's just a classic game where you either light up all the lights or put out all the lights. So you just want the whole board to be either filled or off. And here, we want to drain this tub. We'll go ahead and unplug the water. And that gives us our control room key, or C room key, if you will. So now we have that. We're also going to go over here. Get rid of this guy. His friend's not as much of a concern, even though we could get rid of him. but we're just gonna leave him be. Maybe he can snack on his friend a little bit for company or some shit, I don't know. But for now, not concerned. In here we have our safe room, so I'm gonna drop off the crank because we won't need it for a decent amount of time. So we're gonna go ahead and put the crank up here. And actually I'm gonna go ahead and grab this first aid spray. And I'm also gonna put that in the box, just because I can use this because we did take a hit. So our threshold of fine will be better. But then we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. I can go ahead and take these grenade launcher rounds. Just to have. We don't really need to worry too much about ammo at this point. Once you get the shotgun, it's basically all just a snowballing effect where you can just kind of not have to worry about ammo a whole lot, honestly. Once we hit the hunters, that's whenever stuff is a little bit iffier, but even then, it's usually a grenade round or two, and they go down pretty easy. But here we have our puzzle, aka the lights out puzzle. So, if we want to push the keys, we can do something like this, I guess. I'm not entirely good at lights out puzzles, as you will probably guess, so. But we still get it all the same. As long as you can get it to where it's like going to corners and stuff. We don't need to worry about that quite yet, though. Oh shit, I forgot to grab the key over by the bee's nest. But we don't have to worry about the chemical room, but we will have to worry about grabbing the key over by the bees/hornets nest in the corner. We also want to run for our lives after we grab that, because they will attack us. And I believe they can poison, but at the same time it's been so long since I've been hit by them that I really don't know, honestly. But we just beeline towards the door and they basically can't touch us, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, that gives us our dormitory key for this room. We can go ahead and use it immediately. And then we can just go ahead on in here. Then we'll go ahead and head in the bathroom in this dormitory. There's Frank. You can get pistol rounds in here if you want. Just kind of showing. And at the same time, I kind of forgot which room had the, the flame rounds. But here we have Plant 42 report. 4 days have passed since the accident, and the plant at point 42 is growing amazingly fast. It has been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have been, and shows unique shape in addition to its size. Looking at the way it behaves, it is now difficult to determine what kind of plant it was originally. There are two ways in which Plant 42 gathers nutrition. The first one is through its roots that reaches into the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and broke the water tank in the basement. Now the basement is filled with water. It is easily imaginable that some chemical elements were blended in the water and promotes the incredibly fast growth of Plant 42. Another part of Plant 42 from the basement grows through the duct and hangs down like so many bulbs from the ceiling of the first floor. Many vines come out of those bulbs, and they are the second resource for its nutrition. Once sensing movement, Plant 42 shoots its vines around the prey and holds it, then it will start sucking up blood using the suckers located at the back of its vines. It also has some intelligence. It blocks the door by twining its vines around it, especially when it captures prey or is sleeping. Several staff members have already fallen victim to this. May 21st, 1998, Henry Sarton. So yeah, Plant 42, evil plant thing, whatever you want to call it. But we push this bookshelf once and then push this one once, and then we can just go down the ladder. And then, whenever we get back, you'll notice something about those bookshelves, but I'll point that out when we get to it. Here, though, we'll have a block pushing puzzle, so we want to start with this one, just to where we can push it to the opposite wall. So we give it about 3 pushes, and then we can push it over here all the way. And then we'll give it a lot of pushes to the end of this hallway. When I say a lot, I mean like about 30, so you got some pushing to do in the meantime. But we'll get it until we line it up to the wall about right here. And then I can just push the rest of the blocks. So we'll push this one first. Go on back. Push this one. And then we can use that one that we just pushed all the way down here to get the last one that we need for our box bridge. So we go ahead and push it, and it's good. And we do have some herbs there, but really don't need them right now. In this room in particular, we want to go towards Jill's right. Since the cameras are kind of fixed, it's hard to tell, but we'll go towards Jill's right, because if you go to the left, there's a higher chance of you getting attacked easier. But then we'll go to the left door here first, because we can't go in the right, it's locked. But this cutscene is just showing that the Neptunes are attacking. So it puts us towards that door first, which is a dick move because it's literally locked and we can't go in. So we want to go to the left, because this door is actually unlocked. But that'll be the first instance of the Neptunes and the last instance, so we'll go ahead and pull this lever, and that'll drain the water, and you can probably guess what happens to the sharks whenever the water is gone. If not, it'll be pretty damn clear whenever we get out of this room. So we push this button, and it says there is a sound from next door. So that actually opened the latch to the door that it pointed us at after that cutscene. So we go ahead and go to the next door. And we do have a bunch of clips and shells and a bunch of other stuff that we can grab. Which I'll go ahead and grab the shells just for having them. You never know. Might use them, probably not, but there is also this that we're looking for, which is another dormitory key. And we'll be back down here shortly anyway, since I'm going to make V-Jolt, so we don't really need to worry about leaving anything. But here you can see the sharks on the ground. Basically can't do anything to you now, so you don't really have to worry about them. They are essentially screwed forever. Well, as long as their oxygen lasts, which is probably not long, honestly, so we don't really have to worry about them. But we'll go ahead and climb up this ladder and then notice that the haunted butler of this residence has stacked the bookshelves in a way that we did not leave them. So that's kind of creepy. Maybe Wesker was just like, I don't know, having a moment and decided that it needed to be rearranged or something. Came on in, did the shelves, and then left. Who knows? Hard to say. But we'll go ahead and put this in the door, and that'll be the end of that. We don't really need that key anymore, so we'll discard it. Then we'll go ahead on in here. And in this bathroom is actually something that we need. Well, we don't really need it, but at the same time, it's nice. Because this is our flame rounds. So now we have 6 flame rounds. And we can go ahead to the red books that are over here. and nab the white book that's in here, which is the V-Jolt report, which I called it J-Volt. My apologies. As I stated in the last report, there are some common features found in the cells of the plant infected by the Tyrant virus. We also have found another interesting fact through some experiments. We found an element that destroys these plant cells rapidly in UMB number 16, one of the series of UMB chemicals that we used for that experiment. We named this UMB number 16 as V-Jolt. In our calculation, it will take less than 5 seconds to destroy plant 42 if we put that V-Jolt directly on the root. You need to mix some of the UMB series chemicals in a specific order to create V-Jolt, but the UMB series chemicals may generate a poisonous gas which is harmful to the human body. Extreme caution should be taken when handling these chemicals. Following are the types of UMB series chemicals and their brief characteristics. UMB2, red. NP003, purple. UMB4, green. Yellow 6 is yellow. UMB number 7, white. UMB number 13, blue, stimulating smell. And V-Jolt UMB number 16 is brown. So this is basically your safe numbers whenever you're making the chemicals. So in order to get up to 16, you have to get there from 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 13, and 16. And also 1. It doesn't classify it, but 1 is water. So water is your base element in everything. But we'll go ahead and use the red book on here just to get it out of our inventory. But we will go and make the V-Jolt solution, so we're going to need to go to that lights out door that we were at earlier, and then we can go ahead and mix the chemicals, hopefully correctly so I don't die. But it gives us 4 chemical containers that we can use. We only technically need 3, so just going to grab this, grab this, and then grab this. So now we need to get to 16 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 13 and 16. So adding up those numbers, and also they have these writings on the walls that'll tell you, just to let you know, water 1, red 2, purple 3, green 4. But we don't really need that. So in order to get this up, we have 4 here. We don't really want that yet. I want to get to 7 before I worry about 4. So we need 2, which is right here. So 2, we're going to go ahead and take and put in our empty bottle. I could have taken 4 now that I think about it, but I do it in a very specific order myself, just so I don't forget. But 1 is water, so now we have water and 2. So if we take water and 2 and mix them, we get 3. So we have 6, 7, 13, and 16 that we need to get to in order to make the V-Jolt solution. So now to get 7, we can add 3 and 4. So I add 3 to 4, and that gives us UMB number 7. So now 6 is also another safe one, so I can grab 4 and run over here and grab 2. So now with 4 and 2, we can add those together to get 6. And since 13 is 7 plus 6, we can go ahead and add those to get UMB 13. Now we need to get to 16 from 13. So we're next to 2, so I grab 2. Take that. And then we're going to need 1 more after 2, so we can grab water. now I can make 3 with 2 and 1, and then 3 plus 13 equals 16, which is V-Jolt. And they do give you an extra bottle in case you happen to mess up, so you only need 3, but they give you 4. So if you happen to screw up and put, say, 2 4s together, or put 2 4s in bottles and don't want to mix them so you don't poison yourself and kill yourself, then you can basically not use that other bottle of 4, do the correct one in the extra bottle that they give you, and then just ignore that last bottle. You can put it in the safe room box or anything else. So that way you don't have to worry about, you know, poison gassing yourself. It'd be kind of bad in the end to do that. At least, the whole idea is surviving, so. But in order to apply the J-Volt, or V-Jolt, I don't know why I keep wanting to call it J-Volt. But anyways, to apply this chemical to the plant root, we need to go back down into the laboratories with the Neptunes, go to the corner, and then the root system is right here. So then we can go ahead and use this, and you'll see that the roots kind of just start withering and dying. And that means it's applied. So now the Plant 42 boss will actually be easier. It will make us skip a cutscene with Barry, but at the same time I kind of wanted to show the solution. You do have to do it, I believe, as Rebecca with Chris. It's been a while since I've actually played Chris's campaign, so I'm a little rusty on Chris, but with Jill's, it's completely optional. I just like to do it because it's kind of like a more completion kind of thing. But we do the V-Jolt, and then we can go ahead and do Plant 42. I will actually just use the 2 remaining grenades on Plant 42. You can't really switch out grenades in this one. You kind of have to use them all if you load the grenade launcher, so it's kind of odd, but yeah, you can't really swap the grenades out in this. Like if I try to take these and put it in here, it just can't be done. They did fix that later on, but in this one, since it's older, it's a little wonky. But we'll go ahead and just hit Plant 42 with 2 of those, and then go ahead and swap out. We do want to make sure that Plant 42 won't hit us with the acid that it shoots from the ceiling as well. It's also whipping me in the ass. But yeah, you hit it with a flame grenade, and it's relatively easy. We do need the key from this fireplace, which is basically the whole point of being here in the first place. So go ahead and grab that. And then we can just leave through the double doors. Since Plant 42 is dead, it's no longer blocking these doors. That was kind of the whole point of going through the side door there with the red book. Well, that's kind of weird that Plant 42 wouldn't block that door as well. Who knows, maybe it was just kind of lazy or something. Or maybe nobody used that door, so it didn't expect it.
Wesker!
And here's Bean.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say. Where on earth have you been? You disappeared from the hall all of a sudden.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
Bean.
I have my
Where you
reasons.
been?
Perhaps you guys have met them? It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
Is that right? Anyway,
And as
it's good
everybody
to see
probably
you
knows at
safe.
this point, Wesker's just full of shit,
Jill, our first
At
priority
least-
is to get out of here.
I would think.
Yes, you're right.
But god damn does he look fine in those
Now, there are a
sunglasses.
lot of rooms
Look at
in
those
that mansion
polygons.
that we can't get into because they're locked up. I have been looking around for clues.
Okay, I'll go to the other house and see if I can find any clues.
Will you do that? I'm counting on you.
Yes, I will go to the other house and look for clues. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Also kind of fun interactable B-Corps things there. Not really sure what's up with that. No, I don't need to push that. Don't try and push it. I'll go into the safe room, deposit some stuff, because I don't need the empty bottles and other shit. I do want to keep the key, though. It'll come in handy as soon as we get back to the house. I want to put these bottles, like, way off the beaten path. The shells can just go ahead and stay here. I'll go ahead and grab this green herb just to heal with, for shits and giggles. Now we have flame rounds loaded into our bazooka / grenade launcher. So we're kind of stuck with those for a bit. Oh, and if you happen to get poisoned, there's blue herbs right here. Just showing those. There's blue herbs kind of scattered in random locations. Oh yeah, and you'll hear this beeping. That's your radio. So if you want to listen to your radio, there it is.
I know you can't answer me, but somehow, give me a...
This is Jill.
And Brad's basically
Brad?
just telling us, if he doesn't know that we're
Broken.
alive, he's gonna run like a bitch, so... Basically, Brad maneuver. I guess you could say that Brad is like the antithesis of the Chad. But yeah, there are also blue herbs here. Which I guess, for no apparent reason, I can go ahead and take one. Actually, I'll just take them both, because I can mix them with what I have. I doubt I'll ever be poisoned at this point. Your main form of getting poisoned is Yawn, and even then, it's cured in a cutscene, so you don't really need to worry about it. But at the same time, blue herbs basically take up no space if you have other herbs, so it's not like they're a detriment to pick up. You can just have them. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and run past this dog and run straight into him like a genius. But we need to go back up this lift where the snakes are at. So, again, beeline is your best friend for the snakes. You don't really need to worry about them as long as you literally beeline it. I don't think they've ever touched me. Like, they'll make their attack animations or whatever, but they're pretty lenient on letting you past. But we did leave the dogs here, so I am going to need to deal with them. Or not deal with them, but basically evade them. But for that, we can just kind of lead them. So if I lead them around here, they'll actually try and find the path to me. But as soon as they give me enough room, then I can just run right past. We will be having a new enemy type show up, though, which will be interesting. Also, that stepladder moved itself, so this place is definitely fucking haunted. I'm just saying. Like, if zombies exist in this universe, then why the fuck not ghosts? In fact, Resident Evil 4 beta was basically going to have ghosts, so yeah. Capcom was just early confirming. But, as soon as we get out of this hallway, we get a cutscene. And the first appearance of the Hunter, which are smart enough to open doors, which is fucking spooky. I think I'd take the ghosts over these guys, honestly. But yeah, he's gonna appear, just hold aim. Okay, or hold the wrong trigger to aim, and then it'll go down immediately with a grenade. But now we have our mansion key, so we can go ahead and go in this room. First things first, we want to turn on the desk light. And then we have two things. We have magnum ammo, and the more important thing in this room, this book. This book won't come in handy for quite a time, so we won't need to worry about it for a little bit of time. But right now I have three flame rounds left in my grenade launcher, which is damn near perfect of what I need until I get to Yawn again. So we have this guy that'll pop out, who again, I'm just terrible at getting past them, I guess, or aiming at them. Most times you can let him walk around the corner, but that time I just kind of went for it. And here, if you read the note under the stairs, which we can here in a second, but I want the acid rounds in particular. So I'll go ahead and put these back up, but I will grab more acid rounds. So now we'll have those. I don't need these magnum rounds yet, and I can go ahead and use this mixed herb. And we will keep the mansion key, just because we can use that. And I'll go ahead and take this too, just in case. Again, we're not speedrunning, so just in case is not a bad thing. I don't really plan on saving again, so I'm not too concerned. But here we have this note. I'll put some bullets in the back room. Use them in case of trouble, Barry. So Barry's kind of looking out for us. He's just being a general guardian angel kind of guy. So he actually left those bullets back there for us. I don't know where he keeps finding all these acid rounds, but all hail Barry, provider of acid. But this hunter in particular, we just get rid of him. Whenever you approach him from the back, there's a lot more chance that you'll get hit, so... And I forgot to put the Doom book in the damn box. But anyways, whenever you're approaching a hunter from the back, you'll notice that all of them are actually the same hand is dominant for all of them. So if you run past them, then you can always just run on the same side and dodge them. So whenever they swipe, you'll actually notice. But here we're going to have a fight. This is actually where we need to deal with Yawn. It can be a little bit iffy, so that's why I kind of grabbed the first aid. But he's kind of just doing his own thing right now. And he's dead. But we took a bit of damage, so I'm going to go ahead and use our full heal. And then before it actually dies, you can check this hole, which makes it really funny for this cutscene. Because Barry just comes in like, what's up?
Jill, have you found anything?
No, not at all. Not the dead, dying, decaying snake underneath you or anything.
But I can't see very well.
How about going down to check by yourself? I have a rope here.
Oh, do you? Well, then I'll try to go down using the rope.
Wait.
So, coming up is one of those decisions where we need to arbitrarily decide what we want to do. Barry kind of is a klutz and drops the rope. But we have
Now I've done it.
a choice here
Sorry, Jill.
without
Wait.
really being presented
I'll
a
go get another
choice. So Barry tells us to wait
Barry?
until he gets the rope. So there's actually a grave back here that we can see and even do stuff with, which I can push it. That doesn't automatically make us go down there, but it will come in handy later, so I'm just going to open it now. But if you go down here, then that's actually a different choice than you can make than waiting for Barry. So we want to wait for Barry to get the better ending, essentially. There's a few different things that you can do that can lead to a different ending. And one of them happens to be waiting for Barry to get the damn rope, because Barry's a genius. So Barry gets the rope, lets us up. We have our little cutscene about him being a dingus.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Sorry. I was really careless.
Are you okay, Barry?
I don't even know how he could drop the
Maybe you're
fucking rope,
getting
honestly.
tired.
No, I'm all right. Don't worry.
And at the same time, have these people never heard of coiling a rope to throw it?
Jill, I found
Maybe
something.
it's just me. And here's our pass number for the door. You actually don't need to remember this password, so don't even worry about it. You'll just
Thank you.
automatically punch
I'll
it in
take
whenever
this
we
then.
get to the door later. But I actually went the wrong way. So, because we waited for Barry, we got the cutscene, all of that, yada yada yada, we can actually go down this hole. So, I'm going to go ahead and go down it, just because it makes shit a little bit easier. Well, as easy as you can make it anyways. And prepare your ears for the Clown Fiesta Fuckfest music that is this basement music redone. And we don't need to go that way. Don't know why I went in that corner. Oh, I'm actually out of grenade rounds right now. Let me fix that. I'm not really too concerned with how much grenade launcher we have left at this point, honestly, because we're just going to have a ridiculous amount by the end of it. But yeah, we go that way, head on out. Don't want to go down that way in particular, so we're just going to head towards this door, unlock it, and get out of this clusterfuck clown horn basement. But it unfortunately follows us into the kitchen, and here we can have this cutscene, which is really interesting, honestly, because I think this is the one instance in this entire game of a zombie opening a door. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter, because he's dead. So, with him dead, we can go ahead and go over here. Just dealt with him early. This guy's faking it. Don't let him trick you. But then we can go ahead and head up in the lift here. So this is basically like an early-ish kind of access to this part of the mansion. Not really early, but it's kind of easier to get here, essentially. I don't really know which way you would classify it. We don't really need to worry about that guy in particular, though. He just kind of chills over in the corner. Just call him Kevin, I guess. Corner Kevin. This guy, though, get rid of him. Just easy enough. But this drawer over in the corner, we can definitely lockpick because it has magnum bullets in it, which we want. But the real particularly interesting item that we want in here is going to be in this room. So we can go ahead over here. We want to push the statue out of the way and then push it down. The way that you solve this puzzle is you want to push the bust on the walls button to see where you need to push the statue, but you don't need to in order to activate it. It's just this corner. And that'll open the bookshelf. So we open the bookshelf, and this actually gives us one of 3 things that we need to save the partner character, which is Chris. So we get an MO disc. So with the MO disc now, we have one of 3 passwords to save Chris at the end of the game. Because right now, he's just kind of chilling in a cell. Prison life's hard, I guess. So we can ignore Kevin, head on this way. There's another guy over in the corner, or around the corner, but we need to go into this room for another advancing item, which is this right here. So it even tells you now I can move the elevator in the courtyard, so we go ahead and pick that up. Go ahead and pick up this. And then we can go ahead and pick up this. Because they stack if you pick them up at the same time. So now we have this guy around the corner. So we'll go ahead and let auto aim kind of do its thing. Maybe. I guess I had to manually aim it. But anyways, we'll go through this door. Then there will be a few more. Another corner Kevin. And then these guys down here. Which he can enjoy eating ass as much as he wants. Actually, I kind of forgot. You need to... And this guy is faking it. But I kind of forgot that you need to open that from that way. But that's an easy enough thing that we can do. Fuck you, corner Kevin. You're not even worth it. We'll go ahead and... Man, I really fucked myself with this Doom book, I'm not gonna lie. I'm used to having an extra space here. But, anyways, we can just go down and around. It's not that big of a deal. I kind of forget. Like, half the time I take the top route, half the time I take the bottom route, and I'm just used to the door being open. But you need to activate or insert the passcode on the other side of the door, so don't pull a me and go that way. So we're going to go down in the clown horn basement again and work our way out of here as soon as possible for my bleeding fucking ears. An ever classic, like, just odd decision. I mean, I know that there was like needing to replace the music or whatever, but at the same time, I think I would have taken somebody just bashing their face into a xylophone over that, in all honesty. And he gets us with the left-hand swipe. Honestly, getting behind hunters is always kind of janky, but this guy will pop out. But yeah, getting behind hunters is always kind of janky. They have the left-hand swing, which all of them are left-handed, essentially. But just getting around them is odd whenever you're doing it from the back, because they can still hit you very effectively on both sides. It's kind of like a 50-50 coin toss half the time. But now we can put this MO disc in here. We won't need that for quite a while. Magnum bullets can go in here. We still need the mansion key, so I'm keeping that. I don't really need the explosive rounds, but we will take the grenade launcher. Just so we have something to defend ourselves from hunters. But Kevin the Stair Hunter's cool, he can stay there. He really is never that much of a threat, unless your name is Rebecca. So I'm not worried about Kevin. What I am worried about is Frank. Frank's a fucking asshole. He's up here. And we kind of don't want him to hit us, so I just ran away because, you know, running away is a good way to not get hit. We're going to use the mansion key. This will be the last use. But after that, we're going to go back downstairs. In particular, we're doing this for one thing and one thing only. Well, that's a lie. Technically two, because there is ammo in here as well. But we want one thing in particular besides this, because magnum rounds are amazing. Now I need to push this over. Because we blinded the hawk, that's like the whole spiel of the puzzle. And I just walked down immediately. But because we blinded the hawk, we can actually grab this jewel. There's like a whole puzzle written on the coffee table or whatever, like, in my vision, whatever, you can't take this jewel. It's right here. But it's like, yeah, you can't take the jewel while I'm watching. So turn off the light, the hawk can't stop you. Anything like that. But if you wanted to use the passcode door, this is it right here. I I didn't use it this time, so we just went the bottom way. But we will go back down the bottom way, because if you remember, we used the blue jewel on the tiger statue. Now we have a red one. So we actually have a means of actually using it. Hey Kevin, won't see you again. So Kevin can just chill doing his own thing. It's whatever. And we already got rid of the hunter that pops out of the the tiger statue room, so we don't need to worry about that. So I'm just gonna go ahead in here. And then we can go ahead and put our red jewel in here. So with the red jewel, we get the python, which is incredibly powerful. So we are sitting very good right now. I do still have the bazooka for a while, so I'm just going to keep it around. But now, because we have the battery, we actually have the means to get through the garden section again, what we needed to do anyways. So I'm going to head in here into the dining room. Fuck you, Carl. I don't know why I'm giving all the hunters names, but there you go. Kevin's my favorite because he's not a dick. But yeah, we just need to go back to the garden section, which is easy enough. We can just take the top route since we cleared out all the hunters up in this hallway here. And also, it's just the way that we know. Actually, now that I think about it, I took the bottom path again. I'm so used to taking the damn top path. I'm not going to even lie. I'm so used, yeah, to taking the top path, so I didn't clear them. But there, I should have ran around the hunter's right side, Jill's left. This guy we can just get rid of because I don't like doing hunters from behind. Wow, that sounded really, really wrong. But I don't like running around hunters from behind because they can swipe me easier. But if you run around a hunter's left side or Jill's left on the hunters, they're all left-handed. So if you run around the hunter's right side, Jill approaching them on the left from the front, that makes it easier to get around them. Which right now, I'm missing health, so I'm going to go ahead and take this and then just use it. I still don't need the Doom book for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. Honestly, right now we can just Dirty Harry it from this point onwards. Not too concerned. You get so much Magnum ammo that it's almost ridiculous. So I'm very much not concerned. And I almost used a first aid spray because I thought the Python would be the top one. But I'm very much not concerned with the amount of Magnum ammo that we have because we have such a ridiculous amount that I don't even need to worry. And actually I am forgetting one extra thing. We need the crank. So I almost forgot that. I'm kind of losing track of everything off the top of my head. But yeah, we take the crank because we also need to stop the water after we insert the battery later. So if we didn't, then we would either need to come back here or go to the Gardenhouse, which both are kind of a pain in the ass and a little ways out of the way. So we'll just grab the crank now with the ability of hindsight, and we'll be good. And there you can see if we go on the hunter's right side that they're all left-handed, so you can avoid their swipes pretty easily, honestly. Unlike me, who runs into the left side to literally take it to the face, even though it was my ankles. Which makes sense. And the dogs are still here, but again, they're not that much of an issue. The dogs really aren't that high on the concerns list. You'd think because they're so fast that they would be, but actually they're not that much of an issue. So I almost confused myself and thought about doing the crank first, but we actually need to put the battery in first and then do the crank. So again, beeline with the snakes. Good job, idiots can't even bite me while I'm going down the lift. Because apparently there's an invisible force field, which literally there is. So now we're down in this courtyard. You couldn't see it earlier just because, but there will be a battery section over here that we can go to and use this in, and that'll activate this lift. So now we have a way to get around the water section, which is what we need. So we can go ahead and re-crank the water to where it goes into the reservoir, and then we'll have a way to get around it without needing it anyways. And the dogs are being extra blocky today. Normally I kind of get rid of the courtyard dogs. You can, but it's kind of whatever. It's your choice. Which I probably will, honestly, just to get the green herbs. Because they took health from me, I will now probably take health from them. So I'll go ahead and grab the green herbs in there with them. Which will be easy enough with the python. We can just bop them both and then get through that section really easy. So Fido 1 and Fido 2, both down. Could have probably just done that from the beginning, honestly, but whatever. And now we have all this healing. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 of them, I guess, and then just 1 green herb to use. Again, having more healing is never a bad thing. So I can go ahead and use 1 green herb, then we can go ahead and grab the 2 red herbs, and then we'll be sitting pretty good, honestly. So do that, grab these. Then we can go ahead and combine them. Which will open us up 2 inventory spaces. And now we can go down the lift over here that also will have dogs down here. So I won't heal until after this part, just in case these dogs hit me. So we effectively save more health by not healing if we happen to get hit here. Because it's a full heal anyways, so. We'll go down this ladder that was in the center, blocked by the waterfall. And we'll go through this door first. If we go down the other way, there's actually a crank panel, but we can't use it because our crank doesn't fit. It's not the right shape.
Jill, what good timing.
But here's Barry, and this is where another decision comes in.
This hole. Let's go together since it's dark and we can't see very well.
And Barry wants to travel together, which we'll say yes.
Let's go.
Okay, then I'm gonna cover you. Let's hurry. Hey, are you all right? I can go first if you want me to.
And then Barry will ask if you want him to go first, which you'll say no.
Okay, let's go, Barry. I'm depending on you.
I believe it's supposed to show Barry that you trust him, like, indiscriminately. So, he's more likely to be on your side. Which also leads to Barry covering us at this door. Which Barry's a good boy. I like Barry. So, the happier he is, the happier I am. So now we go down this hallway and get a funny ass
Is that
cutscene.
Jill?
Is that voice Enrico's?
Yeah?
You're alive!
Wait there!
Yeah.
Are you with anybody, Jill?
What? Oh, yes.
Enrico!
So, Barry and Jill together.
Are you all right, Enrico?
The
I
stars
thought his
are
name was
doomed.
Enrico.
Someone is a traitor. Everything was plotted from the start by Umbrella. Ha!
You know, that was a hell of a shot, whoever made it. I mean, obviously it's Wesker, but that was a hell of a shot considering both Barry and myself were in front of Enrico. So, yeah. Basically shot through both of us. But we get the crank. You can actually get an extra clip off of Enrico too, but because we haven't used the pistol since the very beginning of the game, don't really need to worry about it. In fact, I'm not worried about it. So I'm not going to worry about it. Run on this hunter's right side. Get wrecked. Fucking idiot, maybe you should be right-handed. That's a joke, don't kill me left-handed people. But yeah, any hunters you see, stick to the left wall. They can't hit you. Because every single one of them is left-handed. But now we have the other crank, so we can use that to actually flip these walls. Which is good. I don't know how we couldn't really use the other crank in particular on these walls. So I think ours is a square crank that we had, and this one's supposed to be like a octagon or a hexagon kind of thing. I don't know, but I'd be jamming that thing in there either way. If it saved me having to go through the horrors. So, now we have a boulder here. So let's play a good old game of Boulder Dash. Which I walk up to it backwards and then just run away. And once you hit this cutscene, you know you've done it. There are flame rounds at the end of the hole, but don't really need to worry about that too much. Also forgot about the hunter. I forget about certain things a lot. But in here we're going to have Black Tiger. If you have the bazooka still, you can actually get rid of it super easily. And there we actually did get poisoned. I'm not too worried about it because of the next room, but here the baby spiders come out, so we're just going to exit and then come back. So that hunter can just keep chilling doing its own thing. But yeah, we will get poisoned. Don't worry about it too much. Here we actually get another knife, which we do need to get through the door. So yeah, I should have actually probably not healed, but we just use this knife and then we can cut through the webbing. If you have the bazooka still at this point, the flame round will actually just effectively one-shot Black Tiger. So if you want to use the bazooka, you can. I just kind of took the Magnum because I didn't really want to keep juggling back and forth the entire time. But we're going to go ahead and go in here. And in the corner we will have a blue herb. So, right here. Which I should have saved my green-red herb combo until I got here. Would have been smarter, but lessons learned. It's like, whatever. I think I still had a green herb somewhere. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. Oh well. It's not that big of a deal to just do this. Because it'll just slowly start killing me more and more. Just do that. And then I do want this first aid to put in the box, just to have. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we don't need this old crank anymore. But I will need this. And that should be good, unless I'm forgetting something. Don't believe so, though. But, first time for everything. By first time, I mean 30th time, because I've been forgetting things left and right. So there are snakes that spawn after we get out of there. But, again, beeline. We can go ahead and get on to the next area. So here, we're going to have another boulder. But first, we're going to do this. We're going to do this a few times. So, get used to seeing this for about 15 seconds. And I didn't mean to unpause there, because we need to do this twice more. And last time. So that goes ahead and opens up our boulder dash section, which we go ahead and touch the boulder, get that camera angle. The boulder activates and we can just keep running at our angle and go ahead and get in here. And while the boulder's finishing up its sequence, we can go ahead and run in the store, because it'll just do its sequence. So, now we're going to go ahead and push this gargoyle statue all the way over to this odd-looking part of the wall. Use the panel here, and that'll push the gargoyle statue out. You can actually set it up in such a way where you can just immediately do the gargoyle statue by pushing it off the wall, but it's whatever. It wastes like 5 seconds just doing the cutscene again, so we go ahead and do that, and this will open up our wall here, or our panel. And then we get the Eagle of East. So, we've gotten both of our books. And our boulder is gone, and this will actually give us our second MO disc, which is important because this is how you save Chris. So we kind of want that. And with that, we've got everything we need to take our lift up, because we've got Doom Book 1 and Doom Book 2. If you didn't get the first Doom Book from the mansion, guess what? You gotta go all the way back to that room where we got it with the desk. So, have fun, if you didn't. There are herbs here as well, in case you get poisoned by the snakes and stuff again, so if you happen to get poisoned in the hallway with the snakes, just know you have herbs. They're just a little bit away. Here we're just going to examine both of our books, not combine, examine. And we need to go to where it opens, and then take our medals. And then use them on the respective sections, which Eagle of East, Wolf of West. And that will drain the fountain here, which lets us go down into the secret lab. As soon as I interact with it, anyways. And then we just turn a slight left, and then we can get into the elevator. And now we're into the home stretch, which is the lab section. Which, honestly, isn't that bad. Especially considering we have the Python, so We're basically sitting at overpowered status because we can one-shot anything. Well, not technically anything, but basically everything. So yeah, we don't need anything from the box right now. I actually could have gotten rid of the crank while I was at it, but we'll hit another box anyways. But now we can just basically go around clearing out the lab by blasting anything and everything in our way. But with the MO discs, here's another one, and this is our last one. Which I guess this one's supposed to be the easy and free, like, hey, you missed these. So we're gonna head down to the lower lab and just go to the computer section. So we head on in, and we'll need to use the computer. For this section in particular, we also have the film reel, which I can go ahead and show. It won't take that long, but it's just a slide. But now we can go ahead and turn on the computer. And most people probably remember Ada from Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 2 Remake. This is actually her first mention, as well as John, which is kind of a neat little bit of continuity, not gonna lie. So we log in as John, and the password is Ada. And you get all of these passwords and stuff from notes and other puzzles hidden around the lab, but if you know them, then you don't need to worry about it. So we're going to open up Basement 2. And the password is mole. Which is kind of funny at the same time because it's like Ada is a spy, which could also be called a mole, but it's also a scientific term. So it is kind of funny how that all wraps up. And then we'll also open up Basement 3. And now all of our basement doors are open. So we can go ahead and cancel out of the computer. And that's all we need in this lab. Gonna make a quick stop off in here really quick so that we can get rid of something in our inventory. It should be this room right here. Be prepared for 4 zombies in this room, but since we have the Python, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's what we're looking for. These weird looking machines right here are actually MO readers, which give us passcodes. And we need these to get the good ending, so just be aware of that. This is a necessary room for the good ending. But I'm going to go ahead and reload our Python. Run up the stairs, because there's something that we would like to grab from up here. And also we can examine the slides while we're up here, which I really enjoy because it gives you the monster names, which is kind of cool. So if we use the slides on the projector, we get Umbrella Inc. Bioweapon Materials, MA-39 Cerberus, FI-3 Neptune, MA-121 Hunter, and T-002 Tyrant. and the Bioweapon Research Institute R&D staff, which that motherfucker on the right looks kind of familiar, doesn't he? It's just foreshadowing two things, Wesker being an asshole and the Tyrant. But we will need this key over here, so run and grab that. And that gives us our lab key. Now I'll also go ahead and grab these for just having heals, because the basement zombies do like to grab me quite a bit. Or of a just in case kind of thing. So we go back into the basement now that we have our lab key, and we're going to go ahead and use that. Run past that guy. And I wouldn't keep using ammo on all of these zombies just because they keep respawning. So I just get rid of that guy because he's in the way. And then we can go ahead and use the lab key. Walk on through here. Then we can immediately go in this room, ignore that zombie at the end of the hallway for the moment. We'll be back for him, don't worry. But here we're going to have another puzzle. This one in particular will be immediately activated whenever that button on the floor is pushed. So we want to be kind of careful. I'm just going to slide this all the way out of the way. And again, we have the janky character can kind of slot themselves through places. So, can use that to our advantage. I'm going to push this one all the way over here. As you can see, there's two vents on the floor, so we want to block those. And I just want to block this a little bit more. Not much, but a little. It makes me feel safer. And then we can go ahead and push this one all the way to here. And then push it outwards. And we'll go ahead and get these stairs all the way out of the way. For the time being. And then just push this all the way to the wall. Now we can get these stairs going again. Don't want to push them all the way to the bed, otherwise it'll be harder to push them out, but just to get them away from the wall. But there we go. We end up putting this over the button and the two boxes over the vents. That way we can not die when the room fills with gas. And we can go over here first to grab this. And this will give us 6 more shots with our Python. So now we're sitting at about 18 total, I think it was. And then use our ammo disc here. Which that's our second passcode. And it doesn't matter which ammo disc you use on the machine readers. They'll just give you the number in sequence no matter what. So don't really need to worry about it. But now we have a safe room coming up past this zombie, which I said we would ignore for now. But I'm not ignoring him now. Could have just ran past him, went in the safe room, saved a shot. But at the same time, I don't really care. There is a blue herb here, but we don't really need to worry about that. I can put the crank in here and we will switch it out for our last MO disc, which I do need. And we'll go ahead and keep our 2 green herbs. There's flame rounds on the shelf if you want them, but I don't really need them. We have the Python now, so really not concerned. So now we're going to go into the power room, which we'll want to go to Jill's right first, because that is where we need to flip the switch. And here we have the introduction of the chimeras, which are the freaky ass, like, fly, like, human hybrids. They go down in one shot from the Python as well, which I will be using just to get rid of them in the next room. First room's not as much of a problem, but this room, they can definitely get annoying. So just aim up, then that one's straight, and you can see they release maggots when they die. It's really gross. But here's our last disc reader, and our last password. So now we have everything that we need to get the good ending. So now I just need to power up the elevator at the end of this section here. Which there is this last chimera, but he was being a weirdo in the corner. So we're just going to let him be a weirdo in the corner as I go to push this button. So we're going to connect the power here. And this will let us use that elevator back in the main lab, which I didn't show, but you'll see whenever we get on it. And that last chimera missed, so basically home free after these chimeras in this room. Which I'll probably cut inward just to try and get him confused, which it worked, so. So yeah, now we're basically home free. I'm just going to stock up on healing items, which I've been yoinking from every safe room along the way. And we'll use our Colt Python, of course. So we can go ahead and put this in here, trade it for a first aid spray, get that first aid spray, this first aid spray. That should be it. Easy enough. And we're going to fully reload. So we have 4 full heals and, what was it, 15 magnum shots. So now we can go ahead and use our elevator here. So I'm going to push the switch and then it'll start a long cutscene of funny shit.
Jill, you're here too.
Yes, you're here too?
God, why?
I lost my way.
Who
Let's
greets
get
someone
going.
like that?
Wesker?
You did a fine job, Barry.
And oh my god, Wesker's evil and Barry's with him. Who saw that
I think you should
coming?
stay away from Barry, Jill. I hear that his wife and 2 daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
You are so
And yeah,
cruel.
actually Polly
Well,
and
you don't have to worry about
Moira
anything,
had a
because
reference
you'll be free from this world
like
very soon.
way back.
Why
It's kind of
do you have to
interesting.
Destroy stars.
That's Umbrella's intention. This laboratory has been engaging in dangerous experiments, and recently an accident has occurred. Anyway, this disaster cannot be made public.
That's why having stars nosing about is so
I
inconvenient.
really wonder how you would cover
So you're
something
a
up
slave
like
of
this
Umbrella
anyways.
now, along with these virus
Seems like it'd be kind of
monsters.
hard.
I think you
Especially when a
misunderstand
bunch
me,
of people
Jill.
are just wondering
To me,
why their
the
families are
monsters you
dead.
mentioned mean nothing. I'm going to burn all of them together with this entire
Why am I judging this game's
laboratory.
writing?
I must complete my mission, as ordered by Umbrella. Barry, go up on the ground and wait there.
Barry!
Barry do as told. Barry leave. Barry sad.
Barry's such a fool. He'll be under the control of Umbrella forever.
How come both Umbrella and you can intimidate him by taking his family as hostages?
Jill, do you realize what the fuck you just said?
Well, I intimidated him, but it had nothing to do with Umbrella. I just used him.
How
for
could
my
you
personal
intimidate him by
purposes.
taking his
Though
loved
both you
ones
and Barry seemed
hostage?
to think I was following orders from Umbrella.
So you're planning something else?
They're obviously evil.
If you succeeded in developing the world's most powerful biological weapon, what would you do? What if you were in charge?
If I was in
You
charge,
must stop this now.
yeah, this place would have been blown up
You're
like
a
3 years
girl.
ago. Not gonna lie.
But if I were you, I wouldn't give up such a big discovery. You guys are idiots. No one understands its real value.
So you're going to steal all the research?
Better yet, I'm going to show you the Tyrant.
Oh, Barry, you're back.
Barry!
Sorry, Jill.
And your shirt is clipping through your
Where's
vest.
family?
I was listening to what you and Wesker were talking about. I wish I realized it earlier. I thought it must have something to do with Umbrella, you know. So it's all been masterminded by him.
But it's good that you know that now. Anyway, let's get out of this house first.
Jill,
I think we've been out of the house for like
do you
30
have
minutes.
any idea what Wesker was going to show you at the back of this place?
Well, he was talking about the world's most powerful biological weapon, called Tyrant or something, I think.
Do you think we could see Tyrant now?
Barry, you're so optimistic.
God, these lines are fucking
It would look
gold.
bad for stars if we let such a dangerous creature run loose.
Maybe you're right. Let's go then.
Like, if memes were a thing, if the internet was a thing and memes were a thing back when, this game would have been, like, certified, just platinum day one. God damn, that boy's ugly. But he's got a big heart. Haha.
Can a creature like this really be the ultimate biological weapon?
Really?
I want to say something like that with a gigantic heart
Tyrant is
literally
not
visible
developed.
on the front of it would probably not last very long
We can't let it live.
on like any battlefield. Like, I wonder where its weak
That
spot
must be
is.
the computer for monitoring this creature.
It's a tough one to decipher there. Yes, Barry, start pushing buttons. Who knows what the fuck they do?
Damn you!
How dare you wake up after I was pushing the alarm clock button? Also, I feel like Barry would just be dead.
It can't control what it does.
I mean, it seemed pretty in control whenever it just cut Barry's ass up. 2, 3. And it's dead. Alright, Barry, get up. I know you have like 8-inch slash marks
Barry?
going through your torso, but you'll be good.
You're alive!
Yeah, don't worry. Bulletproof vest.
I'm really bad. I was clumsy.
Let's get going.
Yeah, Barry, way to be clumsy. Ding dong. Way to let yourself get smashed against the computers there.
What happened to Wesker?
Don't you mean where is Wesker Bean? Wesker, where are you Bean?
Wesker must have set it off. There's not much time left for us.
Oh well, time to run Seaberry. Now we need to go save Chris. Whereas Excella would call him Crease. Whereas Jill in this one would call him Crease. Whereas everyone calls him Crease. For some reason, I don't know why. Everyone always pronounces it Crease. Makes it sound like he's a piece of paper or something. But now our lab zombies are replaced with Chimera. Who are giant assholes. At the same time, they're pretty easy to dodge. And now we just put all of our passcodes in here. You can actually do this before the self-destruct sequence starts and whatnot, but it doesn't let you save Chris. You just get an extra cutscene. So, if you want to see an extra cutscene, by all means. But we're gonna save Chris. What's up?
Oh, Jill!
Oh, Chris! So you're okay?
Yeah,
You're here too?
What happened to Wesker?
Let's talk about it later. Let's get out of here.
Fun fact, the only thing that I know about the voice actor for Chris is that he voiced, I think it was Richter in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and that shit is funny as fuck. If anybody hasn't seen the opening, like, sequence to Symphony of the Night, do yourself a favor and give yourself the hardest laugh that you'll probably have in a while, and watch that opening sequence. And then you will discover what a man is. And it is hilarious. Like, Chris's voice actor was really going places before he unfortunately kicked the bucket early. I kind of wish he was still around. Because goddamn, would he have been like a gold mine. But we just need to get out of here. If you do have a full inventory at this point, yeah, empty one slot, because they're kind of assholes. Because you need one slot free. So, if you have a full inventory at this point, empty one slot. Give yourself one slot. Otherwise, you will need it. And you will hate it. But we're gonna go ahead and hurry to our final battle. And fun fact, I still haven't saved yet, so if I die, it's gonna be funny as fuck.
This is Brad. Running out of fuel. If there is anyone alive, contact me now, okay? This is...
And old Chicken Heart's giving us the radio signal that, hey, if you don't contact me now, I'm gonna leave your asses. But here's why you need the one slot. Because this battery. And if you don't have the one slot, guess what? You can't just not put it in your inventory, put it into this elevator. No. You need that one slot in your inventory so you can pick up the battery, put it in your back pocket, take it over to the elevator, take it out of your back pocket, and put it into the elevator slot.
Oh no, you must
Limitations.
come all the way here.
Ladies first. Go first, Jill.
But Chris,
Give me a chance to play nice guy.
I don't know what the hell that means, but whatever. Give me a chance to play nice guy. Like, what? What does that mean? Wouldn't it be like, give me a chance to play the hero or something? Chris, are you unaware of, like, 2010's, like, what nice guy means nowadays? How dare you not look 20 years into the future and realize this? Nice guy's a bad thing. And here we have the signal flare. You can just activate it wherever, but I like to change the camera angle a little and then activate it. Just makes it easier to see. And here comes Brad to save the day. Huzzah. But guess who's back? And he wants to be the nice guy. So now we're just gonna fire at him, run to his right because his big ass claw's on his left. Again, keep running to his right. And I do need more ammo, so I'm gonna do that. And then run to the right. Brad, this is not a good time. I'm just gonna say.
Kill that monster! You're our Amazon!
Yes, I am the Amazon. Still not a good point. So, this is it. This is the final thing. Once I fire this rocket, this will be the furthest I've been from Orclay. And by that I mean the game is over. Which, that's it. We've done it. It took us about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And because we did it that fast, we get the infinite rocket. Which is nice. And we also did the best ending, so Barry's alive. Fuck Chris, but Barry's alive. You get to see Brad wobble that shit in here as the place explodes. And epic effect. Merging video, yeah. And for some reason, Chris looks like absolute dog shit even though he was sitting in a cell the whole time. I don't know exactly what he was doing in there. But maybe I don't want to know. Either that or Wesker was like mud wrestling with him or something, who knows. Wesker's a freak. Yeah, that's the ending. We beat Resident Evil. I don't think I really need to tell people that it's a classic horror game because it kind of started the whole, like, horror renaissance thing going. It's still pretty fun. It's aged considerably, in all honesty, but it'll always be a kind of golden child for me that I like to go back to every now and then. I do know this one a lot more than probably 2 and 3. For some reason, 1 was just always the one that I cared about the most. I don't know, it was just one that I always played the most. Like, most people would probably say 2, but 1 was kind of my 2. I just enjoy it. I enjoy all of the goofiness, all of the terrible fucking voice acting, like, everything about this game is just golden as hell. It's not super difficult to beat once you know how to do it. I mean, it can be difficult on like your first tries and not knowing stuff. Then again, what game really isn't? But this game is just an old and gold one. I don't really have much of a rambling or a review for it, but it's just, I like this game. It's the first Capcom horror game that I played, like, way back whenever I was probably about 3 or 4. My cousin was playing it, and I'm just like, whoa, this game is fucking terrifying. Now you look at it nowadays and it's like, oh my god, everything is so ugly. But that's kind of the charm of it. Like, you go back to old games like this and polygon-based stuff, and you're just kind of like, damn, this is kind of cool. Like, it's just fun to go back and revisit. Like, this was, what, 96? So it's been about 27 years But it's amazing how far we've come in that time. Like, this was right around the time that 3D was starting to get big, like voice acting was just starting to be a thing. Like, it's kind of amazing, honestly. Like, just looking back, this was like around the start of the era of 3D and voice acting. Like, Alone in the Dark was a little bit before this one, and even then it's like, damn, like we really came a far way with just this short amount of time. Like, you look at games nowadays, it's kind of astonishing. But even the Resident Evil series now, it's like, shit, we're up to 8. The remakes. Hell, Resident Evil 1 had a remake back on the GameCube. Like, it's been remade, remastered, like, it's come a long way since this game. Like, it's kind of impressive, honestly. Like, just looking back at games that you play now, and it's something else to just think, wow, like, this is related to this. And Resident Evil's been killing it nowadays. Like, I really just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to go back to the roots of things. Like, Resident Evil is just kind of having its revival now, and everyone's starting to really appreciate the new ones. Like, I mean, yeah, people still appreciated the old ones, but people are starting to reappreciate it. Like, there's a new generation appreciating this game now, which is, in all honesty, pretty cool. Like, it's becoming a multi-generational thing, which I'm happy to see. I hope more people get into Resident Evil. Like, this is the one that I started with, but I'm happy that people are starting with something. Like the HD remakes and all of that. I'm glad that people are at least aware that these exist, and they're starting to probably explore the roots of it, honestly. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that saw the remakes and wanted to play games like these. Which is cool, because it really just has people go back and experience stuff like it was. Kind of glad that there is stuff like that and there's people that do that. But other than my short ramblings, we have our time total, which is 2 hours, 9 minutes, 30 seconds, and our number of saves, which is 0. Which, if we get a certain chime, then we'll know that we got the infinite rocket launcher. So if you beat this game in under 3 hours, I think it was. There's no other specifics. I think it's just beating it in under 3 hours, then you get the infinite rocket launcher and also the closet key if you beat the game. So yeah, we ended up beating the game quick enough to get the infinite rocket launcher, which was kind of just the end goal anyways. So that was Resident Evil 1. I hope people enjoyed. I hope people enjoyed the absolutely goofy ass, just cutscenes, everything like that. And if you've been watching this long, then thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and have a good one.